The suspect in the shooting that took place a few hours ago at the headquarters, YouTube headquarters right outside San Francisco. Nancy Pelosi has already tweeted suggesting that we need to have further gun control laws in the state that has the strictest gun control laws in the country. Of course, here in California, you've got to pass a background check no matter where you buy the gun. You have to wait at least 10 days to get the gun. You have to get your handgun micro-stamped. Which means the make, the model, the serial number of the gun is transferred to each cartridge case every time the gun is fired. The idea is to allow the police at the crime scene to trace the gun back to its owner. You have to take and pass a written safety test. You can't own most so-called assault weapons. You can't buy or sell large capacity ammunition magazines or 50 caliber rifles. You cannot buy a gun through a private sale, even through a friend, without first going through a licensed dealer and therefore getting a background check. Oh, and you can't buy more than one handgun a month. Those are some of the handgun control rules here in the state of California. Reportedly, again, the strictest gun control laws in the country, but Nancy Pelosi is already suggesting because of this shooting, we need more.
We have a report of subject with a gun. They heard 7 to 8 shots being fired. This will be from the YouTube building.
The one person we have down and saying that's our shooter.
As you can hear, that's a police radio report about the shooting. Bob is in San Antonio, Texas. Bob, you're on the Larry Yoda Show. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it.
Good evening, Larry.
Evening.
I had a suggestion regarding how you refer to the perpetrator to avoid any possible gender misinterpretation. Just refer to that person as the alleged shooter.
That certainly would solve the problem. My thing, Bob, is I've never liked the term gunman or gunwoman because you're implying it's the gun that does it. I prefer the term suspect or attempted murderer.
Well, that goes also.
Yeah.
That works also, and you're right. I think gunman is an inflammatory term, more often used by the media to hype things up. It may or may not be accurate, but that's why, as a more middle of the road, they're a shooter. Yeah, and that's gender neutral.
Well, Bob, thank you very much for the call. 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. President Trump is warning Mexico about rumors of a invasion of illegal immigrants. This is something that this so-called caravan has apparently been something that they've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years. And the president has told Mexico that this flow of illegals into America has to stop.
Mexico has got to help us at the border. And a lot of people are coming in because they want to take advantage of DACA. And we're going to have to really see. They had a great chance. The Democrats blew it. They had a great chance. But we'll have to take a look. But Mexico has got to help us at the border. They flow right through Mexico. They send them into the United States. Can't happen that way anymore.
By the way, Dean, if you're listening, that was 24 seconds. This one's a little bit longer, so this may be rougher on you.
Could you clarify what you meant about having the U.S. military guard the U.S. border along with Mexico? Thank you, sir.
Yeah. First of all, the border. The Mexican border is very...
This was today at a joint press conference with the president and representatives from the Baltic states.
Unprotected by our laws. We have horrible, and very unsafe laws in the United States, and we're going to be able to do something about that hopefully soon. Hopefully Congress will get their act together and get in and create some very powerful laws like Mexico has and like Canada has and like almost all countries have. We don't have laws. We have catch and release. You catch and then you immediately release, and people come back years later for a court case, except they virtually never come back. So we are preparing for the military to secure our border between Mexico and the United States. We have a meeting on it in a little while with General Mattis, and everybody, and I think that it's something we have to do. Now, the caravan, which is over 1,000 people coming in from Honduras, thought they were going to just walk right through Mexico and right through the border. As you know, NAFTA is a phenomenal deal for Mexico. It's been a horrible deal for the United States. We're renegotiating it now. But it has been a horrible, horrible, embarrassing deal for the United States. This should have been terminated or renegotiated many years ago. Mexico, we have a trade deficit with Mexico of over $100 billion a year. And I told Mexico yesterday that because of the fact that their laws are so strong, they can do things about it that hard to believe the United States can't. I said, I hope you're going to tell that caravan not to get up to the border. And I think they're doing that because as of 12 minutes ago, it was all being broken up. We'll see what happens. But we have to have strong borders. We need the wall. We've started building the wall. As you know, we have $1.6 billion toward building the wall and fixing existing wall that's falling down or was never appropriate in the first place. And that's very important.
Now, the president's right about this ridiculous caravan and the fact that the Mexican government is either abetting it or allowing it to happen. But he's wrong about NAFTA. And the proof of that is, recall H. Ross Perot, who opposed the NAFTA. Do you remember what he said over and over and over again about the giant sucking sound that was going to happen? It didn't. NAFTA helped all three countries, Canada, us, and Mexico, where there's some losers, of course. But overall, consumers won. President Trump likes to talk about the fact that he's got an economics degree, a business degree from Wharton. I assure you, if you go on the Wharton website and you look at what Wharton professors have said about NAFTA, to a person, those professors believe that NAFTA has benefited this country in addition to benefiting Mexico, in addition to benefiting Canada. To a person. If you can find a professor who went to Wharton who disagrees with that, please inform me because I couldn't. 888-971-SAGE. But he's dead right about this caravan. Here's Mark Krikorian on the Center for Immigration Studies.
There are a group of 1,000 or so illegal immigrants, mostly from Honduras, who have been organized by a U.S.-based group, San Diego-based organization that basically is an anti-borders group. So what we're seeing here is a kind of test or a challenge of the administration's willingness to enforce the law. And there are two things that I think need to happen. The administration needs to make clear these people will not get past the border, or if they get in, they're not going to get into the interior of the country. If that requires tent city to be set up on the border, whatever it is, they have to be kept where they are to send the message that this is not going to work. The other thing, and this is something Congress has to do, as it is now, if you're an illegal immigrant and walk up to our immigration inspector at a border and say, hi, I want to claim political asylum, we have to take that seriously and let you in while we do that case. Instead, we need the law to change so that anyone who passes through a country that has its own asylum system, like Mexico, doesn't even get to apply. They just say, sorry, try Mexico. That's where you should have sought refuge because you're supposed to look for it in the first country you're not being persecuted in.
What to do about this so-called caravan? 888-971-SAGE. I am Larry Elder.